And here we go.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Mike from the Super Wheeler Bros, and we are back once again with another review of the Fox and Marvel comic book hero collaboration, The Gifted. And this time we're looking at episode number 4, entitled Exit Strategy. Now in this episode, the mutants devise a plan to take down Sentinel Services and perform a jailbreak of Polaris and Reed Strucker. Now in the process of this, Eclipse has to go through some not so savory individuals to get some help and some information on where the van that is transporting his loved one and, of course, the Strucker family's patriarch in order to get to them. And it leads to some pretty good drama and some not so good things for our old pal Eclipse. So this episode I thought was, I don't know if it's the best one of the season, but boy, it's close if it's not. It is a very intense episode. There's a lot of strategy and planning that was going in with it, and I think that kind of a cool thing that they haven't done very much yet is do a little bit of a flashback. Of course, we had a little flashback with Polaris and Eclipse last episode. This episode, number 4, we get a little coda at the beginning where it's showing one of the mutants foreshadowing his partaking in the part of the drama of this episode. His name was Pulse. And he basically has the capability to alter equipment around him, and as part of that ability that eventually plays itself out in the episode is stopping mutant abilities in the surrounding area. And that made it very difficult for Andy and Lauren Strucker, who also were having problems on the roof when they were trying to contribute, and just everybody being able to use their mutant powers definitely made things very, very difficult. Now, that tiny little plot device brought a lot of tension, and I really, really, really enjoyed the interaction between Reed Strucker and Lorna Polaris. I love the way that they played them off of those two, because there's a lot of drama involved in that. Now, of course, Polaris doesn't forgive Reed for what he's done in the past, and she points out, like, hey, I had to comfort this little girl because you sent her mother off to prison for simply being a mutant. That's the kind of stuff that I think it makes such a difference between shows like The Gifted and Inhumans, where you have this human element, this fundamental heart that is at the center of this story. And I really love it. I really love it. And it's even going to play in next week, where we get to see some of the Sentinel Services guy and his backstory on his family and what happened and why his mindset is attack the mutants. And there was some pretty cool, once again, special effects. I mean, my goodness, pulling the metal rods out of Reed's leg, since obviously Polaris can manipulate metal, and she can throw it at the guards and help them escape, and man, she is such a badass. She's obviously Magneto light, but it doesn't matter because she's doing a great job with her scenes and making you care about her. But the powers, the special effects, they're so good in this series. I'm telling you, man, this series has got me hooked, and there's not a lot of flaws, honestly, so far. Couple things here and there you might point out that are implausibilities, but when the drama and the characters have you sucked in so much, I mean, Eclipse and just what he was willing to do to get back to Lorna and just, put himself in that situation with basically this mob and just doing their dirty work, apparently whenever they call, I'm sure that's going to have some very bad ramifications down the line. The only thing I think I have a nitpick on, the only thing, is I don't know how it's going to work, and they're playing the drama pretty decently, so it's not really that big a deal, but I don't necessarily like how the, seed was planted with Blink and Johnny. It's just a little strange how they played it out and how they're trying to, make it seem, I mean, it's almost as if Blink knows that Johnny doesn't share that feeling and that memory, but it's implanted in her brain and it's freaking her out and it's making her feel weird. But at the same time, she has this odd connection with him. And I'm sure that will also have some ramifications down the line. And we'll see how it all plays out. But overall, This was an absolutely excellent episode, and hopefully this first little bit of this series continues its momentum, because the first 4 episodes were very, very good, and this really capped off that initial run of its story, and hopefully it continues on its high trajectory. If I was going to score this week's episode of The Gifted, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Once again, we have a spectacular episode, and I really, really am enjoying myself this season on The Gifted, and I hope that this show continues to deliver on everything that it's shown its potential to be. Guys, tell me what you thought of this week's episode of The Gifted in the comments below. Let me know how you are feeling about the show. I would love to talk to you about it. If you liked this video, of course, drop us a like, and if you're enjoying what you see here on the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. 1, it's easy. 2, I love talking nerdy crap, so come on over and talk about the nerdy stuff with me, alright? Anyways, guys, my name is Mike from the Super Wheeler Bros, and as always, my friends, have yourselves a super week.